Hello to all my Tycoons. This is Patrick Tycoon Jones speaking with yet another episode. Today we're going to talk about how sales, the profession of sales, makes the world go round. At the end of the day, if there's no sales, guess what? There's no money that turns over the global economy. Hello, it's Patrick Tycoon Jones here. Today's episode, we're talking about how sales, the profession, actually makes the world go round. You know, I hear so many people speak negatively about sales, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand it because it's one of literally the oldest professions known to man and women. So why are we knocking it? Why? I don't understand why we do, but guess what? We're going to get into it today. So let's rock and roll. Number one, why I actually got into sales. This is a good one, right? So I feel as though sales actually chose me. And what I mean by that is, as you all know, I had a son as a teen. And as a result, it kind of forced me into a profession. And I remember sitting down in Virginia talking to my sister. And we were actually sitting down in her Acura MDX at the time. And she was like, what do you want to do? I can take you to Barnes & Noble and we can get a book so you can learn about it. And I was sitting there, I was a little bit puzzled. I was like, hell, I don't know what I want to do. At this point in time, I'm like 19 years old, right? But I know I have a son and my son's 2. And it's like, hey, look, I need to be able to provide for my son. So what I said is, you know what? Sales. Let's get into sales. The reason why I knew it should be sales is A, I love money, right? And I love making it. And B, I knew that sales would actually accelerate my earning potential with commission, right? So think of your base salary. So you have your base salary over here. You know what you're getting every 2 weeks, okay? But depending upon how good I am from a sales perspective, I can actually double what I'm making from a base salary perspective. So as a young teen, I always knew that, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting into sales. And I knew the better that I got, the more time that I spent at it, the more money that I would make. But guess what? I had no idea how far I would go with sales, but I knew that if I got into it and I would perfect the craft, I knew that there was an abundance of money out there waiting on me. I just didn't know how I'd get there, how soon I'd get there, what my path would be, et cetera, but I had faith in the fact that I can accelerate my earning potential. So that's exactly why I got into sales, number one. Next, 2, sales is one of the oldest professions known to man and women. So I was actually, Googling, and as I was Googling, I found out that prostitution was the #1 profession known to man and woman. And then after Googling a little bit more, I found out that sales is actually a notable profession, and it goes all the way back to being able to barter, individuals that were creating furniture with wood, things of that nature. They would create it, people would come by, they would barter, and there was a sale that was going on. People didn't realize that there was a sale going on, but at the end of the day, that sale that would go on when it comes to people selling wood and, people selling corn and, farmers, I'm talking about way back when, that actually blossomed into corporate sales, right? So now we have technical sales. So if you think about some of the most lucrative corporate sales out right now, I'm going to give you 2 of them. It's either cybersecurity sales and or pharmaceutical sales. But if you also think about a profession that made the most multimillionaires, that's real estate and real estate sales, right? So I don't knock my real estate professionals because I am a real estate professional. I have multifamily units that I've owned, and I've been doing that ever since 2015. However, corporate sales is what catapulted me to afford real estate, right? So when it comes to sales professionals, yes, it's extremely stressful. Understand that, folks. Sales is extremely stressful because what you end up having is you have a quota. That quota is the number of sales and the revenue that you need to bring in on either a monthly basis, quarterly basis, or annual basis, however the company looks at this is what you need to attain in a certain time frame, right? If you do not attain that particular quota, then there's consequences and repercussions. And the consequences and repercussions are simply, hey, look, you're not holding your end of the bargain, so we need to let you go and you're without a job. It's that cut and dry. So as a result, you feel the pressure immediately. And if you don't know how to manage that pressure, then you're not necessarily going to be good at sales. And if you don't know how to handle pressure in general, then I would tell you do not get into sales whatsoever, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a hell of a time trying to achieve anything. Your morale is going to go down, and guess what? You're going to end up out of a job. So what I found that, most good sales professionals come from a background of competing, right? So, in high school and college, they competed on a high level, whether it's, in basketball, football, whatever it is that you're, competing in. If you have a background of competition, then you would do well in sales, right? If you have a background in leadership, you would do well in sales. If you have a background in communication, you would do well in sales. So just think about it. If you're thinking like, hey, I'm in college and I don't necessarily know what I want to do, but I am a business major or a marketing major or an economics major, then the likelihood of you getting into sales and being successful is high, right? And if you incorporate that with competing, you've played soccer, you've played basketball, you've played an organized sport before, then the likelihood of you actually succeeding in sales, and I mean succeeding and making really good money in sales, is high. After all, people will always tell you when you're in corporate sales, the best salesperson is making just as much, if not more, than the VP of sales or the COO, which is the Chief Operating Officer, or sometimes even the CEO. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, doesn't happen often, but I know people in my circle that have made millions of dollars in a year just based on corporate sales. And that's just one job. We're not talking about multiple streams of revenue. That's just one job. They made millions of dollars. I know people right now that I can call on my phone. Heck, I'm one of them that have made, $500,000. They make $500,000 a year, easy. They're in the 1%er circle. And that's just by understanding your craft, being the best at your craft, being extremely knowledgeable, and being a go-getter, right? Being extremely relentless. If you're not relentless, then in sales, you're not going to be a top tier, in the top 1% of earning potential. You're just not going to be that individual. However, if you want it, right, and you believe that the world is yours when it comes to sales, okay, then you can go out there and you can earn a phenomenal living. You can be living like, doctors and lawyers and athletes live. That's the truth. People don't understand that, but that is the truth in corporate sales. Next, why sales is so important. People don't get that you're selling yourself every day. When you go out to your job, you dress up, you're looking yourself in the mirror, you're brushing your teeth, and you put your corporate garb on, whatever it may be, okay? And then you're going and you're interacting with people, you're interacting with your boss. This is you selling yourself every day in communication, in passing, in presentation. This is you selling yourself. After all, we live in the Western civilization. So what does that mean? People are constantly judging you, and then based on them judging you, the interaction is how you're selling yourself, right? And then selling that judgment of you, whether they were wrong or they were right. You're selling that judgment of you, no matter how you look at it. So sales, just from that particular level, is extremely important. Now, when you talk about a corporation that has a service and or a solution, or you have widgets. right? You have to have individuals that go out and market it and that go out and sell it. Because if those individuals don't market it, don't sell it, no money is exchanged for what it is that you're offering. So guess what? That's just like having a vehicle with absolutely no engine in it. And this is what a lot of corporations don't, I feel as though they don't do really well. It's okay to tell your salespeople how important they are. Why is that okay? Because for the longest time, people don't want to tell the salespeople how important they are. And what type of culture does that create, right? That creates a culture of somewhat dishonesty. Because if it's not for the salespeople, nobody has a job. Not even the CEO has a job. Especially if you have a solution, a service, a widget, anything that you're selling that needs to be marketed and needs to be sold. Your salespeople are some of the most important people in the organization, okay? So that's why sales is extremely important. And if you think about the society, the capitalistic society that we live in today, hell, if you don't have salespeople, nothing, and I mean nothing, exchanges hands. Well, yes, you can go online and you can say, hey, look, we have this, it's here, and if you don't market it, who's gonna know about your product or your website or your cool tool or your cool shirt that you're selling? Nobody's gonna know about it. So you have to market first. That's where marketing comes in. And then you have to sell it second. Without those two things, you have nothing, right? You're broke. You're filing for bankruptcy. The CEO doesn't have a job. All the C-levels, the VPs, nobody has a job, okay? So sales is extremely important, okay? Next, commission is the holy grail to sales. So folks, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on commission. Commission is extremely important. A, it allows you to catapult your earning potential, number one. Number two, it allows you to essentially have a whole nother salary, okay? Especially if you're turning over money on a very consistent basis. For example, if you're turning over money that enables you to bring in an extra $2,000, $3,000, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $60,000, $100,000 a month, depending upon what level you're on, you now have the ability to go out there and be a real entrepreneur. You have the ability to save your money up. You have the ability to pull yourself out of debt. You have the ability to go out there and acquire companies. You have the launch pad, if you're smart, that will blast your spaceship off, and you have the ability to now become a multi-millionaire. It just depends on your vision. If your vision is big enough, and you're good in sales, you can go out there and you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, okay? It's just the belief in yourself, how much money you're making, how good you are at your 9 to 5, and the level of commission that you're bringing in on a monthly basis, right? I also know sales folks that are out there and they're driving Bentleys, Rolls Royce, Range Rovers, Ferraris, whatever it is, right? It's because they're at the top of their game and they deserve it, and they know how to market themselves, and they know how to market their business. They know how to pitch. They know what their value proposition is. They know what problems they're solving, and guess what they're doing? They're doing a damn good job of taking it to market and exchanging money for goods and or services, okay? That's sales. At the end of the day, commission plays into that sale, because whatever it is that you sell, if you're the corporate salesperson, you get a percentage of. Now that percentage can range from 2% up to 10%. If you're a partner of the company, you're not getting a salary, but guess what you're getting? If you have another company and you partner with another company and you're bringing sales to that company, what I've seen from a corporate perspective is you're getting 25% of that sale, okay? Now you're not getting a salary, but you're getting 25%. So there's so many different avenues on how to get money, and there's so many different avenues on how to earn commission, okay? Referrals, being a partner and driving sales to another company, being a direct salesperson, right? Those are all ways on how to earn commission. So folks, the sky is the limit. And, you know, when I look outside my penthouse in Houston, guess what I see? I see nothing but opportunity. I see nothing but money, right? And that's how you should shape your brain and your eyes and your ears to see and hear is money, opportunity, right? Opportunity, if you know what to do with the right opportunity, it leads to success, money, commission, okay, folks? So train your mind to think differently about sales. And then once you do that, you can really start raking in the commission. Next, what you put in is what you get out. And I'm talking about the effort. So let's just say now you do have a corporate job, okay? And it's a corporate sales job, or, you know, you're in real estate, or you have a company that's driving deals and leads and revenue to another company. You're a partner, you're getting 25%. No matter how you look at it, what you put into it is what you're gonna get out of it. So individually, let's say you're dialing for dollars. That means you're picking up the phone, you're pitching people, and if you pitch them, they're interested. Obviously, they buy what you're selling. Money is made, commission is earned at that point in time. You know, when I was doing that every day, I was making 100 dials a day. I wasn't playing. Like on a light day, I was making 70 dials a day. On a light day. On a day where I didn't have much going on, I didn't have many meetings, I'm making 100, 108, 110 dials a day. I'm not playing around because I do know, similar to sports, and I have a sports background where I played, you know, basketball, football, and track. I knew what I put into the game is what I got out of the game, right? The game respects those who put in the work. And when it comes to sales, it's the same way. The sales game respects those who actually put in the work, the relentless work, day in, day out. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're sick. Show up and show out. And then at the end of the day, your lifestyle, it's going to speak for it, right? It'll say, hey, look, you know, Patrick Tycoon Jones, he put in the work. You, the viewer, my Tycoons, you put in the work, right? Your lifestyle will show it. When you're riding first class, when you buy your first Rolex, when you buy your first luxury vehicle, when you buy your first house in your 20s, whatever it may be, it's going to show, okay? So get serious about it, okay? And what you put into it, no matter what game you're in. And when I'm referring to game, I'm referring to profession. And how I look at profession, my W-2, that's the game, and that's how I keep score. No matter how you look at it, that's how I keep score, is how much money I'm bringing in. That's the game that I'm playing, right? And I'm relentless at it. I play no games. So what you put into it is what you get out of it. Next, be relentless and become the best at what you do. Now, we're talking about sales here. So be the best at sales. But you can't be the best at sales if you're not taking it serious, like a professional athlete. A professional athlete, we'll talk about the Houston Rockets. So the Houston Rockets, you have your practice with your team, you have your games. But the best individuals in the NBA are actually practicing outside of the hours that they're supposed to practice, or they're getting paid to practice. You want to know why? Because those are the individuals that understand what I put into this game is what I get out of it. And those are the individuals that want to become the all-stars. Those are the individuals that want their jersey retired. Those are the individuals that want to become Hall of Famers, right? Now, there's not Hall of Famers, if you will, from a sales profession, but guess what? There is. There is a W-2. And everyone knows the man and the woman, the big boss on campus who's turning over the commission, who's turning over the money. Everyone knows who that individual is. And let me tell you, in the corporate world, those individuals get catered to. There's no doubt about it, right? And it's just like being all-star in a sport. You get catered to, right? You get special perks, okay? You're sitting down at all the important conversations, right? You're going out to all the fancy dinners. You're going out playing golf. You're doing whatever it is. Your work day, by being the all-star salesperson, is totally different than someone who's just starting their work day, okay? So keep that in mind as well. So be the best. And I always remember, I would sit down, I would talk to my sister. And my sister, Michelle, she always said, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a garbage truck driver. If you're the best at it, the money's gonna come, no matter how you look at it. That may mean that you're the best truck driver, and next thing you know, you go to the bank or you go to someone, you get a loan, and now you have your own fleet of trucks and you're picking up garbage. But at the end of the day, if you're the best at what you do, the money follows. The money follows. And another lesson learned here as well is don't just do it for the money. Do it to help. Do it to add value. Do it to be the best. And guess what? The money flows. It's inevitable. The money comes, okay? So as long as you're the best and you're doing it for the right reasons, the money flows. The money flows right to you. Next, increase your earning potential. So I've talked about that before, but commission definitely allows you to increase your earning potential. It's no different than people having a 9-to-5 job and they're getting a set salary, and then they have a side hustle, and that side hustle is bringing them in additional money earned, right? Okay, well, now you have one job that you can focus on that's going to give you, 2 forms of income. You got your base salary, because most corporate sales jobs, they give you a base salary. The base salary can be $30,000. It can be, $24,000 if you're starting from the bottom, depending upon where you are and where you reside in the United States of America, or where you reside in the globe, in the world. So your salary can be there, or it could be all the way up to hundreds of thousands of dollars from a salary perspective. But guess what? You also have your commission. So you can have a salary from, 20-some thousand all the way up to 100+ thousand. And then you can have commissions that's 20,000 all the way up to, millions. The sky's the limit, right? And the amount of effort that you put in is what you'll get out. And again, I know people that are making 5 figures and people that are making 7 figures when it comes to sales. That's the game. So you choose who you want to be when it comes to selling. But for me, selling is life. Selling is life. For me, I love the profession, right? Once upon a time, I was actually a little ashamed about the profession. And then I had to get serious with myself. I'm like, look, I'm making just as much as doctors. I didn't have to go to school as long. I'm making just as much as lawyers. I didn't have to go to school as long. I'm making just as much as athletes, based on the level that you're at. But guess what? I don't have to worry about my knees going bad. I'm living the same lifestyle, right? I'm in the same buildings. I'm frequenting the same restaurants. That's what sales does for you. So people, stop being ashamed of selling. Be proud of it. Own it. I'm a sales professional, absolutely. And that's what it's about. Be proud. Next, acquire assets with your commission and become rich or wealthy. Now, folks, my dad told me at an early age, okay? He said, us men, son, we have to be responsible with our money when we get it. And I don't know if he knew how that impacted me, but it impacted me significantly. So when it comes to me, I never blow my money. If I don't have the ability to go out there and invest in something that's going to bring me back money, I'm not splurging on anything, right? I'm just not. I started doing the real estate back in 2015. It was 5 years before I actually took money out and started spending it. 5 years. Because what I was trying to do with the thought process was, okay, you know what? Every dollar we get goes back into the business. Period. That's it. So invest in yourself. Invest when you start making good commission in assets, stocks, bonds, businesses. Go out and try to acquire some businesses. The sky's the limit. But at the end of the day, you're in a phenomenal position by being able to earn commission. Do the right thing with it. Go out there and do something that your future self is going to thank you for. Go out there, buy assets. Don't go buy logos, right? And brands and put it on your feet and put it on your back and put it on, right? And drive in it. Yeah, you'll get there. You're going to get to that point, okay? Yeah, because everyone wants nice things, but that better not be the first thing that you go out and do. Take it from me, take it from the Tycoon. That better not be the first thing that you go out there and do. right? I was earning six figures for a while before I actually bought my first designer pair of tennis shoes. And you want to know something that was funny? Once I bought my first designer pair of shoes, I got them, the first pair. I didn't wear them for a year because I'm like, oh, those are my nice shoes. I'm not going to get them dirty. I'm not going to mess them up, right? That's new money, whatever. But at the end of the day, you'll get comfortable with all that stuff too, because that's inevitable, right? But be responsible. Do the right thing for you and your family when you start earning good commission, okay? And Tycoons, that concludes Sales Makes the World Go Round. You know what I always say. Lock in with me because you know I'm locked in with you. And please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, and please forward this to another tycoon who deserves this knowledge. Until we meet again, take care. Bye now.